While it might not have been glamorous at the time, this is looking way better than the Panthers thought. With an injury to long-term right tackle Taylor Moton impacting the offensive line, rookie Monroe Freeling has a chance to prove his worth earlier than expected. What's going on, guys? Tanner Blue, Carolina Panthers Digest Media. Thanks for joining us today. Really happy to always talk Carolina Panthers football with you guys and talk the latest and what's going on with the team. Real quick before we begin, as usual, guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. You guys have really responded to that call to action, so I really appreciate that. The views and the videos, the subscribers, everything seems to be growing. Everyone seems to be really enjoying what we're doing over here. So really happy to see that. Please comment below on the videos as well. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, let me know. We can talk further about it. And so in yesterday's video, we really talked about the impact of the injury of Taylor Moton and Jaycee Horn. Obviously, Jaycee's is very minor, it seems, but Taylor Moton going to miss the beginning of the regular season. Very unfortunate, and maybe miss further time if things don't progress with the blood clot. So really want to talk about today, the GM Dan Moore and kind of what he's done this offseason, and him and Dave Canales, and what they really plan to do to attack this injury bug that has hit the offensive line. What are the steps they've put in place? Who are the guys that can step up? What is kind of the next step from here? Well, the good thing is that, as we've discussed before, the Carolina Panthers, in the first round, they invested a first-round pick in a tackle, and that guy is Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. This guy is an absolute beast. I believe he's 6'7", over 300-something pounds. I mean, he's raw, he's young, but man, this guy he's got all the potential and the physical attributes to really be a good football player. Now, on the flip side of that, the Panthers also bringing in a veteran left tackle due to the previous issue, what was an injury with Ike Ekwonu, who got hurt in the playoff game. And this man that they brought in is going to be Rasheed Walker, a 3-year starter at Green Bay, a very capable starter, probably one of the better tackles you're going to see hit the free agent market that the Panthers were able to pick up. So the Panthers, not saying they predicted these injuries, but man, they really seem to do everything they could in their power to, if anything happened, they were going to have answers. And, well, here we are. The Panthers certainly having to answer the question of what they're going to do when injury strikes. So let's take a look at an article that was posted on CarolinaPanthers.com by our good friend Darren Gant over there. A really interesting piece in kind of how the Panthers, what they're going to do to attack this issue with the injuries at the tackle positions, and what can these guys do? What kind of answers can they provide in the short and long term potentially? So here we go, Darren Gant over at CarolinaPanthers.com. There is not a team in the NFL that can walk into camp without its starting tackles for a portion of the regular season and not feel the impact of those absences. Well, the Panthers are in that position. With left tackle Ike Ekwonu still recovering from a torn patella injury suffered in the playoffs, and Taylor Moton sidelined after doctors found a blood clot in his lung, the Panthers will be working with some backup plans when they begin practice on Thursday. So as we know, Taylor Moton going out with the blood clot injury. Unfortunately, hopefully things go well there. He's going to return at some point in the regular season, hopefully sooner rather than later. And then, as we know, Ike Ekwonu getting hit with that injury in the playoff game. Unfortunate timing there. So what do the Panthers do? Well, they draft Monroe Freeling. They sign Rasheed Walker in free agency along with a couple other guys. They're going to do the best they can. Let's continue with the article. Looking here. Signing Rasheed Walker in free agency was a short-term move, but drafting Monroe Freeling in the first round was a long-term play for the team, and one they're fortunate to have made now. Same kind of goes with Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle they picked up after Turk Warden's injury. They planned ahead. Walker got 3 years of experience for the Packers at left tackle, a team which has happened to make the playoffs the last 3 years. He's a different type of left tackle than Ike Ekwonu, more of a pass protector in terms of a mauler in the run game, but he's certainly a quality starter. Walker is on a 1-year deal, but he said in June he already feels comfortable here and getting a lot of work with Bryce Young in the one-on-ones at OTAs. So that is good news to hear. Rasheed Walker obviously on a short-term 1-year deal here, but you never know. You never know how things are going to work out. He's a quality starter. He's been on a playoff team for a few years now. The Packers, one of the better organizations in the National Football League. So really someone that, if there's a guy available, he seems like the best guy to put in this slot. And if things work out long term, this guy, I believe he's 26, 27 years old. He's still entering his prime. So if things work out, you don't want to look too far. You just want to take it game by game. But if things work out for the long term, he could be the answer. He could be the guy if Ikemi Kwanu comes back and he is not the same in same form from his injury. We all hope everyone comes back from the injuries better than before, but you never know. So the Panthers rather be safe than sorry. We'll see what they can do with the veteran left tackle. Certainly a position you want to have a veteran in at this moment in time. But let's talk about Monroe Freeling as we continue with this article. What is he going to be able to provide? Where does he fit in? Is he going to be a left tackle? Is he going to be the right tackle? Is he going to be on the bench? Let's take a look at what we got here. At Georgia, most of Freeling's experience was on the left. He played 747 total snaps in his college career, with 739 of them being on the left-hand side. He only started 18 games and is still very early in his progression, but he has some familiar with playing on the right during his college years, at least in practice. Going on with a quote here, just saying that he has some experience playing swing tackle, and he has a little bit of experience playing on the right-hand side as well, saying that he's probably has about 300 or so snaps at right tackle, and about 1,600 or so on the left. So definitely a big difference, but he's comfortable playing wherever. The article would then go on to mention a little bit of Jordan Gross whenever he was drafted many moons ago. Started on the right-hand side and then ended up transitioning to the long-term left tackle. So you never know what's going to happen. With a guy like Monroe Freeling, I want to say at this point, I believe Rasheed Walker, regarding unless an injury happens or he just absolutely has a horrible training camp, I think he's going to be the starter at left tackle. He's got the experience. He's a quality player. Unless Monroe Freeling comes in and just absolutely lights it up and says, wow, this guy's a home run pick, he's going to be a left tackle, then so be it. I have a feel like Brady Christensen and Monroe Freeling are kind of be fighting it out for that right tackle position. I know Monroe's not a traditional right tackle, but you never know, man. I mean, the guy has to get in there, and if he has the ability to show that he can play at a right tackle position, you can never have too many good tackles in the National Football League. If he shows he's ready and he's capable of holding down that right-hand side, Rasheed can hold down that left-hand side, Brady Christensen can fill in when needed, that is not a bad spot to be in considering both your right tackles are out. And then whenever Taylor Moton comes back, you figure it out. So I think that's the best case scenario. Is if he can find his way into the starting lineup at some either left or right hand side, I think that's a win for the Panthers. I think the worst case scenario is if you go into this season and he's not able to win the left tackle or the right hand tackle position battle because he's not really shown anything. He's still a bit raw. I think that would be unfortunate, but you never know. I think that's a worst case scenario. But best case, guy on the left, guy on the right. The Panthers, they're rocking and rolling going into week 1 against the Chicago Bears at home. They might not be the long-term answers, but they're the answers they have for now, and hopefully that can work. So obviously want to continue to think about our guy, Taylor Moton. Hope he continues to progress in his treatment for the blood clot. Hopefully Jaycee Horn is able to get his foot right, and he's ready to go here within a few weeks or so. Training camp is just a few days away, so really hope those guys get healthy and we can get back. But in the meantime, they've got some guys in the wings that can hopefully show that they're ready to step up whenever the time is needed. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And as always, keep pounding. We'll see you on the next one.